Chris Huntington. I work for Avery Dennison. My job title is I'm a supply chain analyst in our supply chain services department. What I do is I measure our service performance to our customers. So what do our customers value? Well, our customers value that their orders get there on time. And so what we have is a whole system of collecting data along points in our entire supply chain. So from the raw materials coming in to actually manufacturing and the material then going out, we measure failure points along the entire way to pinpoint, why did we not get an order to our customer on time? Well, we can find out the exact reason why, and then so I collect all this data and I build reports and I send out reports for all of our plants across North America and Canada. And I also roll out our strategic initiatives, how to improve our service, just like projects around capacity in our plants, how we can increase flexibility, working with our carriers and transportation on smaller projects, how they can improve, and kind of get everybody communicating along that entire supply chain. Yeah, so usually the first thing I do when I come in, I look for important hot emails, things that I would need to respond right away, but most of the time I come in and I run what is the daily service update. And what that is, it's a report that looks how we performed yesterday and looks for any hot issues that we may have had yesterday, and then I communicate through an email. I send out the report to it seems like everybody in all functions, in sales and marketing and supply chain, in all our plants, our vice president, our general manager, they're all included in this email so they know issues that are going on. The rest of the day I have some scheduled meetings that we call MDI. It's managing for daily improvement. It's part of your lean theory, some of these lean Six Sigma type meetings where we have action items on the board and we meet as a group to kind of get together quickly and brainstorm who's going to take this action item and follow up and things like that, quickly resolve issues that we're seeing. And then it really depends on other projects that I'm working on throughout the day. So right now I'm developing a new service tool and kind of working with our IT guy to go behind the scenes to build this database that's calculating our service and tweaking the logic. So I'm also developing tools in Excel and things like that, and answering questions and working with sales and guys in the plant. It really changes day to day almost. I think there's tons of opportunity, actually. Back at school, and for me, I didn't really have a problem finding a job. My problem was choosing which company to go with because I had several offers. There's tons of supply chain jobs out there, and I think it's growing as they're trying to bring a lot of manufacturing back into the United States. So I think there's plenty of opportunity for those in supply chain, and especially with those skills and background that can be applied to other areas other than manufacturing. My role also, I'm pretty lucky because I get a lot of visibility. The vice president of supply chain of the whole company will come down to my desk and talk to me because he's very involved in the service reporting and with how we're doing with our customers. And so I get I get a lot of exposure from these high-level leaders, which certainly will allow me to advance in my career very quickly as I build these close relationships and network. It's actually one of the highest paid majors that you could choose in school. In BYU-Provo, compared to all the other majors, finance, accounting even, we had one of the, I think the first or second, top starting salaries, for our program. So that, I mean, you know, employers have and know the value of people in supply chain. I think students should pursue a career in supply chain management because the field of supply chain is growing. There's jobs out there. I think the type of learning and skills that you acquire, even if you don't stick with supply chain your entire life, which I think a lot of people in our generation are going to bounce around, but I think starting in supply chain builds a foundation for you to excel in other areas of life, in business, because of the way that you think. Supply chain people are very good at systematically problem solving, and supply chain teaches you how to think holistically, cross-functionally, because it's really the heart of any company.